Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Timberborn, Part 4 in the Helix, where we have both the Iron Teeth and the Folktales working together. And today they're working together on a very, very big project. In fact, several big projects. We're going to kind of change the entire face of the district. And I've had this planned all along. We had to start a small district, get some basics up and running, just so we could then tear it all down. But before I could tear it all down, we have to have a place to replace what currently exists, and that's what you're looking at right now. All of this that we flooded with the reservoir last time, we're actually going to reclaim some of that land by bringing everything up to the level where you see like the platforms and some of the dynamite and like the workers or the builders' huts. It's all going to be brought either up to or down to that level through dirt blocks and a lot of dynamite. It took just under 4 hours to get everything done that we're going to see here in this 4-minute intro. There was a lot of dirt, but also a lot of blasting. I mean, this is a very big hill that was in the way from where I wanted to get some land. And I also wanted to make sure that we brought irrigated land as far back as possible. Thus, you see basically like a trench dug out every 8th tile. And then we're just going to put platforms in there where the walkways will go. It does flood a little bit here at the beginning, but after a drought and a bad tide, when the water came back in, there was not really any flooding. Maybe a tiny minor bit, but yeah, that one's taking a while to finish blasting there. Also, it sounds weird. It sounds like the normal just destroying a building thing. So yeah, just a little bit more. You can see starting up at the very top of the hill now, mountain, I guess, really, in Timberborn. We've got to bring that down several different layers, and of course dynamite 3 is the most we have, so we can only go 3 blocks at a time. So I tend to bring several layers down to one big flat one, so then I can work on that flat area and then another one lower than that, and then it just kind of works out that way a little bit easier, I think, instead of just doing everything at 3s. Yeah, I might wind up using a bit more resources this way, but it feels like it goes quicker to me than trying to build platforms and stairs and all that. I kind of missed a bit of a detonation there, but we got it. And this was the final blast after they got everything ready to be blasted out over here. And then the only other thing I have to do is blast out the channels for the water to run through, and we'll be looking really, really, really good there. It was not my only project that I worked on, though, just this mountain and then bringing everything else up. There were other things we worked on behind the district proper itself, where the housing is. I wanted to get the side of the hill flat, and also, we won't see it here in the intro, but we'll see it in just a minute. I even blasted down as far as I could in behind all of this, because we're gonna do some subterranean, that's what I'm looking for. Some below the ground storage for resources. I think it will be pretty good to have that in. But yeah, overall, we're good to go. And so let's jump into some live gameplay. So from this perspective, you can kind of get a really good sense of what it is that I did. You can see the big trench back here. It's not completely blasted out. We're going to be moving all of this today to a temporary location, rebuilding it, and then deleting the temporary location. But you can see a nice big flat open plain now, but you can also see maybe over here a little bit of a change. This I did not get recorded, simply because I have a lot of big projects happening right now that I've got in the works. And I didn't realize my hard drive that I record to, or the SSD that I record to, was full. And it's a terabyte. So that's a lot of video that I had sitting on there. I moved some stuff off, and we're good. And I rendered out a few videos, so we're set. But yeah, here where we've got this freshwater source, During our normal temperate and even during droughts, this will be open. And then during bad times, these will close and that'll open and then it'll just go right off the map. So that's good. We may eventually dam up some more of this back here and maybe flatten a lot of this out as well, but that's way down the road. But I also blasted, first of all, built up a lot of the terrain here, and then blasted this all to one level so the water could flow out this way. But you may have noticed I also added in 2 more dams to kind of leak into this side or drain into this side, so that even water from here can wind up going into this area. I think in the end it's going to be pretty cool what we have. But with all of that done, we have 2 things that we need to do. First of all, we've got this guy over here. Nothing to do in range. Because, like I said, this took nearly 4 hours to get all this stuff done. And in that 4 hours, they got all but that little bit of scrap knocked out. So, good job to the scavengers. But obviously, if there's nothing for them to do, there's nothing for them to do. They can only reach in from right there. So until this little bit's gone, they can't get there. And so just 1 is fine for that. But I do want to ensure that we are staying on top of that. So we are going to build an efficient mine right here. Just like that. That's all it takes. Of course, this takes quite a few resources to get built. So we're going to get that done super duper quick and then move on. Okay, so maybe quick wasn't the right word for that because that took the better part of 22 minutes. But it's done, and we can move on from from that and move on to what we need to do, which is come up with enough beds to move the district over here temporarily so I can start getting rid of all of that stuff over there. So we're just going to spam a bunch of houses down, and we're just going to go with the basic lodge. And I think to make this go a little bit quicker, because the reason this took so long wasn't the lack of resources, so we need to switch that over and put some people to work in there, beavers to work in there. But the reason it took so long was the lack of builders. We only have 4, so I have built and demolished and built and demolished builders' huts this entire series, so let's just, you know, keep that train going. So let's build a bunch of houses. Not going to worry about them being pretty, we're just going to worry about them being here. So we'll spam these things down and see how many we have per row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. So we need like 5 rows of these. So I'm gonna get these built super duper quick, and as they get built, I'm gonna demolish or get built. I'm gonna demolish a house. When one gets built, demolish a house, so on and so forth, until all the beavers live over on this side. But of course, they haven't even gotten the builders' huts built yet. So we're gonna make sure that gets done first, because that would suck if it didn't. But we'll be back after a quick jump cut. And oh my goodness, that took way longer than I expected. I sat for, I don't know, an hour waiting for everything to get done, but we wound up running out of logs. And then we had a bad tide that took out, I've added a few logs here, and it took all those out. And of course, these go during a bad tide as well, right here at the edge. So for the longest time, we were without logs. So since I had dirt on hand, I went ahead and started filling this in. And with a few logs that we had, built some stairs, and we're going to blast this hill down, because what we're going to do, in addition to all of this, and this over here probably won't get done today, but we're going to bring these channels all the way across, these two at least, are all the way down to here. And then once we get past the mine, we'll bring like a cross channel over and then run channels this way so that we can use all this land for trees, just trees, and not wind up in this situation where we're out of lumber again. But everything is blasted, and they have started They were able to get down there, but then I realized I needed to do a different thing with some stairs. They have started to rebuild in there. What we have down here are 19 storages. We only need 18, but for symmetry's sake, we did 19. And the way I came up with that number is if we take a look at everything that's available for food. So we've got 5 rows of 3 and then 2 more, so 17. And then I want to also have books nearby because that's something that, you know, you would want near the houses. So that's a total of 18. Well, like I said, it's kind of, for symmetry's sake, we went ahead and did 1 more. And then I've got it set so that they're starting to fill in some more what we blasted out. We don't need to go any farther than that. But I figured that it'd also be a nice place to have like an extra set of stairs coming down. I think that might be a good idea. If I had a way to do that over here as well, I would, but we would have to move the wood storage, which is we can do. We could move it back 1, no problem. We have another one over here. Oh yeah, I also started paper because our food situation is getting a little bit dire. So I thought if we put in the beehives, at least it'll grow faster. But you can see we've definitely dropped down on our food a lot. A whole lot. Like, we're gonna have to keep a very, very close eye on that. We may have to like change gears here. We never have carrots or kohlrabies, despite the fact that they pull a ton of them out of the ground every day. They go in stock and they immediately, I don't eat them all. I don't know if it's a thing with this mod or with this update or with this difficulty settings, but they don't eat a balanced diet. I mean, they do, because you can tell it through here that, you know, they're eating the potatoes, they're eating, you know, all the other stuff. It's just, it seems like they're eating more of the carrots and the kohlrabies than anything else, which I don't quite understand. So we've got our first layer here that's going to be storage. We did have, and we will again have, stairs right here, which I want to prioritize those simply because we need to get them back down there so they can build easier. I kind of want this back here to be secondary. Even that, really. I want this over here to be what our primary focus is. So, but anyways, we've got our first level of storage, and then if we look, I've got platforms in right here to bring us up to that next level when we're ready for it. We're not ready for it yet, though. And what I'm thinking is, because of how far below the ground we are, I might try to find a way to get power down here, which probably won't be that hard since we've got essentially 2 extra blocks to work with. You can see here I've just decided just to fill it in behind the warehouses. But if I brought power over anywhere, honestly, I could do it just absolutely anywhere. But the place that makes sense to me would be to bring it like down and then over, or maybe even over from here and then go straight down and move our plank and gear production down there as well, which means we could possibly do the storage for all of those right here, maybe even put some log storage down there. So maybe we can move this and make this a little more accessible for everything, but they would only have to go down 1 level. One of the things that I want to try to make sure that we have, though, is like a lot of access between the levels. So like I've left space here and here for stairs, and we may eventually like bump things back a little bit and have like 2 lines where we can like get stairs in and stuff like that to go down and up. Because I don't ever want them to have to go like all the way down there just to go upstairs to come then all the way back over this way. I want them to have multiple ways to get around everything. And wow, they've got those stairs done already. Granted, these stairs are the metal stairs, which not only saves our planks and everything. Well, actually, I think those do have some planks in them, yeah? A couple. But they don't use the logs, and they also provide decoration, which is kind of nice. I also want to prioritize that and that so that I can place a 3rd thing there. If I did that, they wouldn't be able to get back to the shrubs. So gonna get this going here and hopefully get most of this built out fairly quickly. I mean, it's just planks and logs for the majority of all this down here. So yeah, I could definitely move the logs down there, but I don't know that I'd be able to do what I've done down here with a set of stairs, because that would require 1, 2, 3, well, 4, 5 away from the edge, and we've only got really 2 or 3 to play with here. So I don't think I'd be able to get stairs down there, but I could bring them right here and go ahead and do that offset that I was talking about. That might not be the worst idea, to be honest, because we can always fill in gaps and things with the new platforms, or even with the new metal platforms, or even just regular wooden platforms. So let's plan that out. So we want to bring that to there, and then what I want to do is kind of like make a stop along the way here. So, and by that I mean I want to have it like at that level so that we can get them down to that tier. I'm almost wondering, actually, yeah, hold that thought. We are going to do this a little bit differently. I guess I didn't need to get rid of that first one. So we'll go there, and then we're going to go here, because I think I'll be able to get away with this. I think this will work. And then we're going to go like that, and then like that, and then like that. I didn't need those last two, and I thought I right-clicked, but I didn't. This way, I can actually have a stop-off at essentially every meter up. Yeah, I like that idea. Kind of wish I would have done it on the other end now, though I don't think I could have. Yeah, I couldn't have. I would have had to bump it out one as well. But that's okay. You know, we don't have to have it completely symmetrical. It can have some differences. And I know there's going to be somebody that's like, no, it must all be perfectly symmetrical. No, no. Settle down. So yeah, that'll be a nice route down to there from where they're cutting the logs. And then this still leaves 3 back here to get those storages in. So this works out quite nicely, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and say logs, planks, and actually let's do another logs. And then gears. Oh, wow. Beautiful. So then we can just run these here. And now, whoops, I did 2. We have a nice flat space to work off of right back here, which is fantastic. And look, manages to catch the stairs. But on the other side, we can do something completely different because it can be at its own unique level. So we didn't really need to have a stop off there, but we have it, and so we're going to keep it. What I don't want to keep is this extra platform. So see, we could even connect like the path right here, and we'd be good to go. That would bring everything right in. For now, I want to see about running power over here. And that's going to be a long, long run. And I'd rather not have it right here in front of the district. I'd like to maintain that a little bit. As far as just like visually, you know, just keep it looking nice. So we are going to go for, yay, another bad tide that'll take out a ton of our logs. Awesome. Well, trees that, you know, we need for logs. You know what I mean. So we will put this right here, and then we need to run power down there. All the power. Stopping at our intersections so that we can ensure we have the space we need. We'll put a quad there for now. And then here we need to do an uppy downy bit. That's their technical name, the uppy downy bit. I know they say vertical power shafts and all that, but nah. Uppy downy bit. Let's see, how many of each of these do we want to have here? Let's start with our lumber mill. So this is gonna need to we're gonna have to like lose 1 tile there. So let's see, that means we get in 3 that way, and then I can do like 2 more, and that will give us a couple extra. And then can I get, yeah, I'm fine with that. That will work. That will work beautifully. And then we can have a platform up above those that brings us to ground level, I think. I'm pretty sure that we'll be good to go on that regard. But we will have a gap right here that'll look kind of funky. But so be it. This will have to go here and then do like a T-junction like that to be able to reach everything. Yep. So then filling this in is... I wish I could do that with like terrain, but you can't put soil on top of dirt. So that means we need to go up and then over, just like that. Cool. And then when we get those built, we can get rid of this, that, and that. Put in a couple farmhouses, and I think plant just sunflowers right here. Just have a big sunflower field in front of the district. I think that would look really cool, especially since they seem to really like eating them. And we're running low on food, but we've got a lot to do to get there, like a whole lot to do to get there. And they're still over here finishing all of this. Oy vey. Of course, we are almost out of logs again. And with a bad tide coming in, that spells not fun things. So let's come over here and check and see. Yeah, that's all they have remaining is like about a dozen there. But then we can come up here. So I think what I'm going to do is, well, we'll let them use the logs that we have so that they'll continue cutting these trees. They'll continue cutting the trees anyway. But we won't have enough to finish all the storages and everything that's down here. But what they'll be able to do during the drought, or during the bad tide while we have no logs, is hopefully work on some of this soil here and down here, as well as starting to blast this mountain out of here in the back so that we can plant additional trees that will be away from any bad tides. I know it will eventually come through here, but this is high enough up, I believe, that it doesn't get contaminated. We'll be able to verify that in just a moment. In fact, let's just jump to where the bad water is flooding through here, and we'll know for certain. So we have contaminated water coming through. It's not pure bad water yet, but it's about to be. There we go. We've got contaminated ground there, but up here, we're fine. So yeah, we're going to be just fine, even during bad waters. Any trees that are like planted along this edge, as long as we can bring all that irrigation over here, we're golden. We'll be set. So I'm kind of happy about that. So let's get all of this built out, which is going to take a while since we're out of logs. But we can also do some blasting. So I think what I'm going to do is prioritize the blasting. We'll get this mountain knocked out of here and get some irrigation and get some trees planted. And then next time we can continue over here, getting all of this built. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think that'll be just fine. Let's do that. Sound good? Sounds good. I will also have them do like this terrain that's here that we need to fill in. Getting off by a little bit, but that's okay. I think that's got it all, but we don't need to do... We do need the stairs, that's how they're going to get down there, but we don't need to do those. Let me... I don't know. That path is bugging me here. There. Cool. So that'll at least let them get some different stairways down. And then actually they've started working on this one quite a bit. It's just they got kind of stuck. So we'll get that done. We'll get this mountain blasted out of here, and then we'll wrap up for today. And of course, we're still out of logs, and we're now also out of dirt. But we're not out of explosives, so we're gonna keep blowing stuff up. But I don't know why I didn't realize this, but I wanted 5 of each thing, and then the food factories to go with Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go up a row and we have 5 more. Actually, I only wanted 4 food factories, so we can get rid of that. And this just works. So now I've got my 5. It's just stacking them straight up. They're horizontal. Whatever, it works, and it leaves the space that I need to be able to get all of that in, and we can still get the platform to come right out and over all of these except that one, which for that one we can like come out here and have one go in. So this will work. This will work fine. And then we still have this little corner here. In fact, we could probably put our water right there, maybe. Or is it taller? It's a little bit taller, but let's see. Does the platform clear? Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, this works. I'm very pleased with this. In fact, I think what we'll do is like just fill these gaps completely. Everywhere we have the gaps, and just bring this all the way down. Well, maybe not, actually, now that I think about it, because we might need to build stuff out there. So for now, we will just stick with the 5s. I may even just do 4. Yeah, I've talked myself into just 4, and that way we're covering just what we know we don't need access to anymore, and that'll take care of all that. And I just have to mark these as their different foodstuffs, which requires doing this several times, going in, going back out, and yeah, until I have them all. And then I'll have to use the level tool as well, whatever this is called, I don't know, because I can't quite reach these others. So now I can just like bring this down, up one more. And now I can mark these. What did I do? The ones below? Already forgotten. Mushrooms. So these will be algae. Granted, a lot of this stuff's not gonna get built anytime soon, though. These are just, these don't use logs, and we have plenty of everything else, so maybe we'll be fine. And then that'll be for the water, and these don't use those either, so we might be in good shape here. The only thing is I don't have storage nearby for these unprocessed resources, so maybe we do that right here and use a little bit of this space like that. Yeah. And we will put the algae in that one and the mushrooms. I don't know, I'm looking right at them. They're all in alphabetical order. You think I would remember that, but I never do. Oh, I did that as eggplant. I meant to do... Oh, that's right. Okay, so I only need 2 of these over here. Because mushrooms are fermented. But that's fine, because I can still just bring those right in. But did those mushrooms need anything? No, they just need a fermenter. Cool, all right. Well, that makes this even better. We can do something like that. Get rid of that. And then bring our fermenters in, and I think I can fit them right here where these are going to be. There they are. Do I need to... this will work. No, this will work. What I need to do is just then bring... Come here. A platform here, and here, and here, and here. And I can get 6 of these. Not that I think I need that many, but I can. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Because I know that the hydroponic garden can crank out a lot of stuff. So yeah, since that doesn't need anything but water and mushrooms, or just mushrooms to ferment, that'll be good. So yeah, cool. And mushrooms, and then just algae rations. So I'm pretty happy about that. Though for the food, for the algae, it's just water and logs on that one too. So the only one that needs canola oil is the eggplants. So that's freaking awesome. Same on the soybeans. So, or not, is that soybeans? I think it's fermented soybeans, yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. I think this is gonna work out really well for us. So that means we can also just fill in back here, because again, it's just kind of dead space that we don't have any way to utilize it for anything else. Though I am not going to put a platform here just in case I want to maybe do a house or something, because what we can do is then have over here housing start. And we could do like another one like there and there, and just have to worry about how to get a walkway up to there. So we could do something like that, and we may do something like that. We shall see. Is this going to be above ground level? I don't know that we ever checked. So if I do, I think this is going to be above ground level. It is. So yeah, that whole thing that I did down there to get this all at ground level, yeah, it's not going to be at ground level down here. What are you going to do? Because it has to be up at that if I build it down. Well, we've already looked at what happens if I build it down one. If I go just one high on the platform, then I can get over the building. Did I already know that? Oh, perfection. Okay, so we may as well cap this off as well while we're here. Not that I think it's going to get built anytime soon, because we are doing things that require a lot of logs as well as planks. We could put something here in the corner. In fact, I'm wondering, could I put in like a medical bed down here? Just, where are they? There they are. Like, will that go there and still let me put the platform over it? I think it will. And if it will, that's what we're going to do right there. And we'll probably do the same like right here in this gap by the power. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. And then just to be sure, oops, that's too long. Yeah, that'll be fine. Wait. Oh no, seriously? Oh man, that makes me sad. You're seeing it too, I know. Oh, that makes me very, 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 very sad. So I might have to rethink this whole thing, and they've started building a lot of this, I think. Because this has to be up. This only had, these three only need one above. Yeah, this is gonna be, it just has to be uneven. It'll be fine. So for now, let's go back up and get rid of all of that right there. I'll put the path back in. We'll still leave the medical beds there, and then this side will just be up by one, and we'll just have to live with my miscalculation. I'll just have to live with my miscalculation. Anyway, again, none of this is going to get built super quick. We don't have dirt. We don't have logs. So we're going to go back over here, and yeah, they're already realizing that the only thing they can work on is dynamite. So I'm going to just prioritize all these explosives, and we'll get this done, and then we'll get some trenches blasted, and we'll get some logs in, and then, or some trees planted, and then we'll be done for today. And we're ready for our final bit of blasting here to see how we're gonna do on irrigation. I did a little test here of doing a triple wide canal, I guess, because I noticed that we weren't getting any irrigation up here because we're 1.5 meters above. Typically width and depth will give you increased irrigation. So I'm hoping that is what we'll see down here once the water fills in. It's going to take it a minute. Let's go ahead and actually just speed this all up. Lovely. And you know what? Oh, that's because it got really high there. I'm like, look, it's fine. Oh wow, that does. Oh yeah, I guess I should blast all of these. That would probably help. Yep. I didn't realize they weren't connected. There we go. It's looking okay. Granted, we're going to get a huge benefit right here once that all fills up. But man, that's not a lot, is it? For irrigation. It's a little discouraging. I really don't want to take this area down one more level, but we might have to. We really might have to. We got to get all these platforms built, and we're going to prioritize them because I don't want them going over and building in the district. And you know what? Now that it's like getting in here, I guess it's still equalizing, isn't it? Okay. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. I need consistent irrigation, not wavy irrigation. I don't know what else to call it other than wavy, because that's what it's doing. It's waving around at us. So yeah, now that it's settling, because it's not going to get any higher than where it is. That is it. Same for here. Huge area of irrigation here just because of that big hole. But it looks like we're going to need to... So how far is this coming out? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 away from the path. So it's not too bad. So I think if I just kind of like run a triple wide across and somewhere down here as well, that will be in pretty good shape. As I mentioned, I want to prioritize these. So I did come up with a couple other solutions over here that I just want to cover with you real quick before we wrap up. I moved the planks to this side because it was down one lower, and that allowed me to get platforms all at the same level. So we've got 6 houses here, 4 here, and then single houses here. So these actually go down into the ground. Well, not technically, they're not in the ground. They're just kind of surrounded by a bunch of scaffolding. But there's like some well-being. There's hospital or medical beds down there. We have a couple of rooftop terraces, which they're actually subterranean terraces. But hey, I won't tell if you won't tell. We've got farmhouses ready to go. They just haven't been built yet. In fact, we need to like probably do one more. Oh no, they're there. Never mind, they are there. It just was only showing us that one because these two are on platforms. So yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. So what I want to see now is coverage for the woodcutters. I think what the best strategy here would be to just fill all these in. I could do this with these. Even the longest one doesn't fill the gap all the way, so there's really no point. We may as well just fill it in with regular platforms and be done with it. Cool, that'll get that done. And I want to see how far my foresters reach over here, because I'm pretty sure that if I have them in key spots, they'll be able to reach like everything. Yeah, like if I put him there on that side, he can reach it all. But then if I go there, he can't. So we'll probably put like one like over here, another one like there, and that'll take care of this end. And then we need, and this is going to be just trees up here. Some of the trees are going to be like, I'm going to do chestnuts and maples up here as well. So like this end will be for cutting, this end will be for food. I just think that's kind of a good approach. So we get to there. So we're kind of looking to make sure we get coverage to that little bit. Where was that? I have no idea how to mark that except to come in here and put in a little path right there. Cool. Yeah, now I know how far it gets. I mean, what else are you gonna do? You gotta figure it out some way or another. So I could probably go like here for this guy and get him to cover the rest of it, yeah? Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. I'm gonna scoot him over 1, actually 2, because I want to blast through here probably. So I'll finish this blasting and get all of that up and running with irrigation and our appropriate gatherers and all of that good stuff set up so that next time we can then focus on getting this built out, getting this temporary stuff over here removed, and getting it in the way I actually originally intended. So still a little bit of work for me to do, but that's where we'll be next time. So until then, it's nighttime. Until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.